This is the Double Edge Factor, where high performance meets peace of mind and faith meets focus. I'm your host, Rod Manuel, and peace and blessings unto you. Before we get going, be sure to like, follow, and hit that subscribe button because the more positive interactions you put out there, the more they push this podcast to people who've never heard it before, which, of course, will allow us to grow, reach new ears, and have a greater impact on more people around the world. So, if you don't mind, head on over to rodmanuel.com. That's RODMANUEL.com. Join that email list and remember to like, follow, and subscribe. Regret is one of the most dangerous poisons we carry. Not because it's loud, but because it's quiet. Not because it's hard, but because it lingers. Regret has a way of slowly draining your confidence, your joy, your momentum, drip by drip. Most people think that regret is just an emotion, but it's not. Regret is a prison. It's a mental one, an emotional one, a spiritual one. And here's the worst part. You don't even realize you're locked inside of it. You just wake up one day and realize that you're living like your best moments of your life have already passed. You're living like the future will always be smaller than the past. You're living like your mistakes have more authority over you than God does. Regret says you should have known better. You should have moved sooner. You should have said something. You should have left. You should have stayed. It's it's never satisfied. It always adds another should, and eventually those shoulds turn into shame. That shame, it turns into hesitation, and that hesitation turns into a life that's stuck in neutral. But you see, people don't get stuck because of they lack opportunity. They get stuck because they can't stop replaying the past. Regret keeps your mind behind you while your life is in front of you. And if your mind and life are moving in opposite directions, you, my friend, are going nowhere. So today I want to break this open. Because you see, regret is not just an emotion you manage. It's a stronghold that you break. Okay, let's go to one of the most underrated biblical regrets in history. Peter. Peter loved Jesus fiercely, but he failed him publicly 3 times. At the moment Jesus needed loyalty the most, Peter denied him. The pressure hit, fear took over, and Peter folded. And as soon as the rooster crowed, Peter realized what he had done. See, scripture says that he went out and wept bitterly. That's his regret. That's shame. That's the sting of knowing you betrayed someone sacred. Now, think about this. Jesus is crucified. The disciples scatter, and Peter's just sitting there. He's held hostage by the replay of the moment where he fell apart. He's not thinking about calling. He's not thinking about ministry. He's not thinking about purpose. He's thinking about failure. He's thinking about, how do I come back from this? How do I show my face again? What if I'm disqualified? What if I blew my last chance? But look how Jesus responds. After the resurrection, Jesus doesn't avoid Peter. He goes to him. He meets him at the very place where Peter returned to hiding, back to fishing, back to the old life, the old patterns, the old identity. And 3 times, the same number of times Peter denied him, Jesus restored him. Do you love me? Feed my sheep. 3 failures, 3 redemptions. And my friends, that wasn't a coincidence. It was intentional healing. Jesus didn't just forgive Peter. He rewired the memory. He replaced regret with responsibility, shame with purpose, and failure with calling. This is the part many people miss. Jesus didn't take Peter back to who he was. He launched Peter into who he was becoming. Peter preached one sermon and 3,000 people were saved. That's not just a comeback story. That's a recommissioning. So what does that tell us? Your regret doesn't disqualify you. It shapes you, it refines you, it matures you, it breaks you open so God can rebuild you stronger. Today's show is brought to you by Polished Custom Builders, where they specialize in building your dream into a reality through custom home building, renovations, and interior design. Check them out at polishedcustombuilders.com, where the most beautiful house in the world is the one that you build yourself. Here's the truth most people avoid. Regret only has power when you believe your past is more meaningful than your future. So let me give you 5 truths you've got to grab today. Number 1, regret, it thrives in silence. See, the enemy wants your regret to stay private. If you won't speak it, you can't heal from it. Number 2, regret exaggerates your failures. It takes one bad decision and convinces you that it defines your whole identity. But your failure is just a moment, not a summary. Number 3, regret will make you sabotage opportunities. Not because you're unqualified, but because you don't feel worthy anymore. You see, opportunity, it requires confidence. Regret absolutely destroys that confidence. Number 4, regret rewrites your internal narrative. You stop saying things like I can and start saying things I used to. That's the language of limitation, and that's how you shrink your future. Number 5, regret dies when responsibility rises. You see, Peter didn't get healed by avoiding his past. He got healed by being given purpose again. So responsibility is what actually detoxes regret. Let's talk about the relationships that you mishandled. You know you can rewrite it, right? But you can rewrite on how you love now, how you communicate now, how you show up now. And regret, it becomes that wisdom when you try to apply it. What about that opportunity you wasted? Maybe you weren't disciplined. Maybe you weren't ready. Maybe you were dealing with things that nobody saw. That doesn't mean the next opportunity can't be the one that elevates your entire life, because the past is not your ceiling. Or what about that version of you that disappointed people? You, my friend, are not that person anymore. You're not even close. So I would say stop letting people or your own imagination tie you to that ghost. And finally, the spiritual season that you wasted. You weren't praying, you weren't focused, you weren't disciplined. Here's the thing, God isn't holding that over your head. He's saying, hey, I'm still here. So let's move. Grace outruns regret every single time. Okay, I want you to ask yourself right now, what regret am I still carrying that is poisoning my future? And then ask, what would my life look like if I finally release this? See, you can't move forward while dragging chains behind you. So here's what I want you to do this week. Number 1, name your regret. Write it down. Be honest. Don't sugarcoat it. Number 2, identify what it taught you. Not what it cost you, but what it taught you. Number 3, release the shame tied to it and say it. That was a moment, not my identity. Number 4, replace regret with responsibility. What can you do differently today because of what happened then? And number 5, take one bold step forward, one decision, one call, one apology, one risk, one move. You break regret by acting like your future matters more than your memory. So until next time, stay intentional, stay grounded, and remember, regret is not your home, but your future is. This is Rod Manuel with the Double Edge Factor. And if this episode added value, clarity, or even one push you needed, share it with just one person. The only way we grow this podcast is when you guys share it. The more you share, the greater impact we can have on more listeners around the world. So be sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss another episode, or go to rodmanuel.com. That's RODMANUEL.com, where you'll find resources, coaching tools, and more to help you live, lead, and perform at your highest level. You can also order a copy of my latest book, Faith on Demand, which is also on Amazon, as well as other exclusive content. And as I always say, be intentional with your words, be intentional with your thoughts, and be intentional with your actions. And always find a way to be a blessing to someone else today.